Hey, what's up guys? Brendanlok here. I know it's been way past the spring 2019 anime season, but I was pretty busy with my studies and now finally I have time to sit down and give my review on them. But late than never, right? So I want to make it slightly different this time. Instead of picking down my personal top 5 animes of the season, I'll be ranking every single anime series that I've watched which started airing in the spring 2019 because sometimes I feel like I didn't quite do some really underrated animes justice. So right before we jump into it, important note here, this review is purely based on my personal preference and interest, so if your favorite animes didn't rank as well as in my list, please don't take it personally. So here's my blank sheet, and let's go! Based on the number of followers on my anime list, first up we have Joshi Cole. As the name suggests, it really is just a few high school students living a typical high school student life doing typical high school student things. But one really unique quote of this anime is there's only one line. One line! Throughout the entire 12 episodes, and basically everything else is conveyed through making weird noises or by obvious hand gestures. So I have no idea why it even exists. Next up, we have Show Met Satoshi. Based on the mobile game, Show Met Satoshi is your typical story about a scientist trying to create some cool-ass time travel machine to explore different timelines and dimensions. But to be honest, there's really nothing worth discussing over here. Even Hanazawa Kana couldn't save it, so... Onto our third anime series, we have Kono yo no hate de koe wo utao shoujo Yuno, or in short, Yuno. So another time traveling anime adapted from a visual novel game. But with the visual novel, you know, my dude Arima Takuya's gonna get all the attention from every single girl in the series. I would say it's slightly more interesting than Show Met Satoshi, but unless you are really into time traveling stories, or else you could just save some time over here. Coming out with some moeness, on number 4 we have Sandra Shoujo. Yukishiro Nanako, once again voiced by the voice actress goddess herself, Hanazawa Kana, who's a cute, cheerful high school girl who doesn't really talk but only make cute noises and communicate by writing senryu, or as you call it, poems. Together with a typical clueless male friend, Busujima Eiji, and their best wingman, they just live their high school life happily ever after together. This is the best kind of anime where you just want to sit down after a long day of work, relax, and enjoy some kawaiiness and not being bombarded by some ultra complex background stories, and all you need is just a cheerful high school comedy anime like this one. In short, Sandra Shoujo is just another karakai jouzu na Takagi-san without the excessive teasing. Much underrated, I've very much enjoyed it and I hope you will too. Adding more to the moeness, we have Hitoribochi no Maru Seikatsu. If you're on Twitter and have been following the anime community, you might have seen this no context Hitoribochi account which is literally super random. If you have no idea, Hitoribochi is an extremely socially awkward middle school girl who literally breaks down every single time during a conversation. When entering middle school, she was set on a mission to befriend every single one in her class in order to re-befriend her childhood friend. Spoilers! She did it! But along the journey, she met some awesome friends along the way like Nako, Aru, and Sotoka, with quirky characters and help her to overcome her social awkwardness. If you really wish to set your brain free from the worries in your life for 20 minutes at a time, Hitoribochi is definitely a choice for you over here. Moving up, we have Midara na Ao-chan wa benkyou ga dekinai. In this 12 minutes anime series, high school girl Horie Ao, who tries to focus on studies but constantly having dirty thoughts hitting on her with everything she sees. Very typical, Not much effort seen in trying anything new for the genre, and in my opinion, definitely skippable, and it gets a D. Up to our 7th anime, we have Fairy Gone. The story takes place in a war where fairies are weaponized and used alongside regular firearms. And years after the war, ex-soldiers lost their purpose. Some began working for the government, but some just decided to fuel a war in a recovering post-war situation. I would say it's a really cool concept and has really great artwork, but slightly crippled by its screen-deep character development and over-complex plot. I myself dropped it halfway, so I can't really judge it too harshly, but up until the halfway point, I would just give it a C. Stepping up to the grand stage, we have Carole and Tuesday. In this series, we join two passionate teenage girls, Carole, who grew up as an orphan scraping a living along the streets in the metropolis of Mars, and Tuesday, who was born to a wealthy family but refused to walk on the beaten path on their musical journey to be the new music star in Mars. So first and foremost, this is definitely a first for me in terms of musical animes, which is a non-idol type series. It's also pretty interesting to have big music instrument brands such as Nord and Gibson to be working with an anime series. From a musical standpoint, the team has certainly put a lot of effort into creating some original English theme songs and insert songs, which feels refreshing in my opinion. And my personal favorite is definitely Galactic Mermaid by the Mermaid Sisters. But from an emotional standpoint, I could really see how they're trying to link the characters' emotion into their songs, but to me, it just feels a little bit disconnected somewhere in between. The best way I could describe it is as if I'm only getting 1.5 out of 1+1, so the best I could give is only a B. Next up, we have Boku tachi wa benkyou ga dekinai. What? Harem with a dude as a tutor for a bunch of girls? Not again? Nah, I'm out. Pouting into number 10, we have Sewayaki Kitsune no Senko-san. Our cute little moe fox girl, Senko-san, one day just randomly decided to come into Nakano Kuroto's life, pampering him to the maximum. From basic cooking, cleaning, to some special service. This kawaiiness overload anime pampers not only our Mr. Lucky Nakano, but even the viewers as well. It's definitely a relaxing anime to chill over after a long day and let yourself be well pampered. So it will get a B from me. Having literally nothing to do with fruits, we have Fruits Basket. This is a retold story of Honda Toru meeting with Yuki and Kyo and later the rest of the Soma family, who has the ability to turn into Chinese zodiac animals when comes in contact with an opposite gender. We'll see how Toru changes everyone's view on their bitter past and bringing light to their endless dark tunnel. At first, I didn't really like the series at all. But as I sit along, I started to realize how great the series is in its storytelling, but without the in-your-face kind of plot delivery. Subtle yet meaningful. Besides, you really get to see how each character try to escape from their dark past and getting back on their feet. And the character development is definitely the anime's selling point. In short, it's a solid A from me. Beating Avengers Infinity War as the most ambitious crossover, we have Isekai Quartet. Ever wonder what will happen when Aqua started dissing everyone else from other isekais? Or what will happen when Emilia meets Megumin? Too bad, you probably won't get the answer. In Isekai Quartet, they've brought together everyone from your favorite isekais from Overlord, Konosuba, Re:Zero and Youjo Senki. We get to see everyone in the same screen interacting with each other like you have never seen before. The only downside is that every episode is only 12 minutes long instead of your regular 24 minutes. And what's even better, as soon as the series ended, the second season is directly confirmed and hell yeah! I can't wait to see who else will be joining into this madness of isekai crossover. Ever felt tired of your isekai anime with an overpowered protagonist literally kicking everyone's ass? And nope, not those. We're talking about Kenji no Mago. Up until this point, there really is nothing more to talk about such an anime because every time you watch them, it just feels like you're having So I think you have seen enough, so big pass here. Jumping next into the biggest of the season, we have One Punch Man second season. Given its overwhelming hype from its first season, it's certainly a challenge to live up to the expectation left over from the previous season. Taking over the series from Madhouse, JC staff is certainly under pressure. Based on previous works from JC staff, the One Punch Man second season certainly looks fine, but given its predecessor's overachievement, its mediocrity has definitely been magnified. Every action scene felt plain and the intensity isn't really there. Without the awesome animations, given its aimless plot, the series has, in my opinion, lost its point to watch and could barely just make the cut. Therefore, I'll just give it a hard pass here. Putting everyone's animation to shame, we have Kimetsu no Yaiba. Having the whole family being slaughtered and having the sister Nezuko who's been turned into a demon, Kamado Tanjiro decided to join the Demon Slayer Corps and swears to avenge his family and turn his sister back to human, whatever it takes. When you see UFO Turbo, hahaha, you know what's up. The anime series, without a doubt, puts every other anime of the season to shame with its masterclass animation. The perfect blend between its graceful 2D and 3D animation and its awesome camera movement just pushes it up to the next level. But despite its excel in technical aspect, the characters are actually the less interesting part over here. Over-apologetic protagonists and some over-annoying side characters are certainly less pleasing, and its anticlimactic jokes just kill the mood during important moments every single time. But overall, it's still a very good show and probably one of everyone's favorite in recent seasons. Lastly, oh boy, I certainly have lost my words and have no suitable words to describe this masterpiece. If you still have no idea, you're totally missing out. Shingeki no Kyojin Season 3 Part 2 is no doubt the most impactful 10 episodes of animes I've seen in a while. The jam-packed action and its intriguing background stories for non-manga readers like me, I have no words for it. Imagine having the urge to madly after every single episode. I'm sure you could imagine already. The series once again brings us to question the ultimate definition of humanity. What do we fight for? Why do we fight? Even if we won, what is left for us? We'll see how the characters question themselves and we'll join them on the rollercoaster ride of emotions. I'm not sure how I could convince you other than telling you the fact that it's ranked as the top 3 animes of all times. Of all time. I'm really looking forward to Season 4, the final conclusion to this epic series. So let's come on board and we'll see it to the end. So there you go. Spring 2019 has certainly way past my expectation, other than the huge letdown of most of the animes I've watched have been really amazing. I could safely say that the average quality of Spring 2019 animes is definitely way above average and especially carried by that one thick big boy. And I also realized we have been blessed with many moes. If you don't understand what moe means, here you go. Along with a huge amount of slice of life animes. In short, Spring 2019 was certainly a great one, and Summer 2019 is currently halfway through, and I can safely say it's another lit one. So be sure to subscribe down below if you don't wish to miss out on my review of it later. And yeah, if you make it this far, thank you really much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I really enjoy making this for you guys too. And yeah, remember to like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I have more videos coming your way soon. Until next time, Brendanlok out.